Interesting game. I want to give Binghamton and Coach Dempsey a lot of credit. He's got a good team. You know, I feel like we're very similar. You go in and you try to build something, and he's building. He's doing a great job, and I told him that before the game and after the game. I really enjoyed watching his team on film. They do the little things really well. They compete. They play really hard, which Dempsey's teams always play hard. But with J.C. Shao leading them, they're really going to play hard. That kid's a competitive young man. So I think they're going to really do well in that league. I'm proud of our guys for the second half. I didn't think we played as well. Again, Binghamton, give them credit. But we were finding ways. This is such a difficult time for our kids, our players, because you got Christmas, you want to go home, nobody's here. There's so many, distractions on the outside with the holidays. I mean, you saw upsets over the last few days. And we just got to stay present. We got to stay dialed in and get better tomorrow, get better Thursday, and really compete against a very feisty team in Ryder. But again, we made the necessary plays that we needed to in the second half.
I just asked Josh about kind of keeping that momentum alive, being able to close out the week strong, and he kind of talked a little bit about it, but I'm curious from your perspective, how do you keep the momentum alive closing out the week strong?
Stay present. Just got to stay present. We got to keep these guys here, spend time with them because we can. Tomorrow, bring them back in, do some cold tubs and some lifting and some stretching and doing some film work, maybe shoot some free throws, because we've been going for 7 straight days. And that's including exams. And that we looked a little sluggish there in the first half. So, again, we found a way to win. But we got to be smart about these next couple days and try to keep these guys on task.
You came out pretty hot, though. You're up 8-zip, 2 threes, a 10-second violation. Did you see things kind of, and understandably, I'm not being critical.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I think I know this team really well. I got a good pulse of the team, and I thought our energy was good to start the game, but I knew we couldn't sustain it. It just needed to be a little bit more disciplined, the energy, the pregame warm-up and things like that. As coaches, we're a little bit nutty. We always look at that stuff, right? I always go out and just check out their body language, check out their energy, see where we are. And I thought we'd come out strong, but I knew because of the game the other night, I knew we would hit some rough patches. And we were prepared for it. We put a lot of effort into this scout. We think Binghamton's a very good team.
Shep gave you 5 threes, but I thought the last 2 that he had were probably particularly important. I think it was 8 points.
Yeah, because it could swing. Now it's a ball game.
Right.
Now there's a little pressure. Right. And that's what seniors do. And I'm all over Shep. I love him so much because he made big shots, but I want him to lead too. I'm looking for him really to emerge and not let us miss a step here, not stub our toe, to continue the process of getting better. But those are the shots that we've seen him make in the past, and he'll continue to do that for us.
Is that a sign that you're getting that from him, or is there still more?
No, I want more. Coaches are very greedy. We want more. And he'll give it because he's receptive and he'll respond.
How do you handle these next few days? Because I'm sure this is when it gets really challenging.
Yeah.
Do you try to think outside of the box? Do you do things differently? Do you settle into your routine? What do you do?
You know what we're going to do? We're going to have a Christmas party at my house.
When?
Tomorrow night. Just kind of great job, good week, okay? And then get really back to work on Thursday, practice hard, do our routine for Friday, and get prepared for a really good Ryder team.
Are you doing the cooking?
I am not. Thanks for asking, though.
Who is?
I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that.
How do you think Nazir and Tony have responded from their 1-game suspension?
I think they've done a great job. I thought Nas had, he played a ton of minutes at Mason. He did some really good things on film. He looked fantastic. He's really starting to get better. Again, you got to remember, Nas is, in my mind, still a freshman because of he was hurt last year, didn't play much in the beginning. So I'm bringing him along a little, slowly because I want to make sure he's ready. And I thought Tone couldn't wait to get the uniform back on. So I think those guys are really moving forward and ready to compete and do what we're asking them to do.
Is there a value add for having a 3 or 4 game stretch where you're getting the results that you feel like you should be getting? I mean, you look around college basketball and there's, Indiana has a hard time with a team that maybe they should beat any given year, what have you. to go out and play some of these teams and feel like you're getting results that are equivalent to the kind of team that you feel like you have?
So what's the question?
How good is it to get that consistently?
We're not where we need to be yet, and that's why you play the non-conference. And it was good to get the snapshot of the 2 Big Ten games in there. I think this team can get so much better on both ends of the floor. When we share the ball, 17 assists, that's fantastic. Defensively, I think we can get better, which is scary. And then the last thing, we gotta take care of the basketball. Penn State can't hurt Penn State, and with some just careless, ill-advised. And that's the discipline I'm talking about. That's where you got to be a little bit more disciplined. We don't need the top 10 play. We just need simple and solid basketball. Because in the Big Ten, you know this, I know this, it's going to be one possession game. After these 2 games, these 2 non-cons, it's going to be one possession game. And we got to really value the ball. So that's where we are. I know what you're trying to say, and there's no doubt we're playing good basketball. But we need to continue the process of getting better.
Binghamton was hitting over 50% for 3 for most of the game, kind of trailed off at the end. Well, anything that you saw from your end of things, or were they just making shots?
You know, I knew JC was going to make shots, and I knew Muhammad was going to make shots because he's a great shooter. So you kind of account, okay, they're going to get their 2 to 3 threes a game. But some of the other guys that they were on fire. And that's why, this win is a good win. Because you're playing a team who's on fire and hitting shots. And sometimes that can deflate a team, and that can really rise the opponent. And I thought we withstood that and did a nice job.
Talk to Josh a little bit about his ability to find guys cutting to the basket, even when maybe they might not be in his vision. Is that something you have to stress to the guys around, that you have to always be ready to maybe catch the pass?
Yeah,
especially when he has it?
you're right. In Mason, he made some ridiculous passes. Not just to Mike. He hit Nas one time, he hit Lamar one time, and I'm not so sure they were ready. He did some passes like that tonight. So I think the more he's out there with these guys, the more they understand, I better have my hands up and be ready to go. And he's playing really good basketball. I mean, his assist to turnover, although he had 3 tonight, is tremendous over the last 5 or 6 games.
How have those conversations gone with Mike and Nas and Tony? Because over the course of the past few months, they've all at some point not been a part of you guys playing. And inherently, if you want to do the things you want to do, you can't have your leaders getting themselves in trouble in a wide range of how, whatever the cause might be. I mean, how are they handling kind of that acknowledgement of where they have to
Yeah, I thought all 3 handled it really well. Very mature. Understood, when you make a mistake, we're going to hold you accountable. And I think they responded really well. All 3 responded really, really well, like I hoped they would. And hopefully we've cleaned up all that, and now we can really move forward as these last 2 and as the Big Ten approaches.
Are you being tougher on guys than maybe you would have in the past in terms of these team rules, or does this just so happen this year that we've seen?
I think it just so happened. I mean, we've always held our guys accountable for the last 6.5 years. It's something that I feel very strongly about. Really, our job is to develop men, right? And when you develop men, you find success. You'll win on the court, they'll win in life. And if we let them slide all the time, well, we're really not holding anybody accountable. And why would they buy into the culture of what we created? They're not going to. They're going to keep looking for shortcuts, keep making little mistakes. Well, little mistakes add up. And that's going to add up on the court, it's going to add up in life, it's going to add up in the classroom. And we don't want that.